Manasa Bhajare Guru Charanam Dostara Bhavasagar Taranam. Manasa Bhajare Guru Charanam Dostara Bhavasagar Taranam.
Om Shri Sairam. It's lovely to see the energy even at so late in the day. And I know it is not a time when we still have the patience to listen to more talks. But I think bhajans are always welcome, isn't it? Bhajans are welcome whether it is late in the night, whether it is early in the morning, whether it is a short drive, whether it is a long drive, whether you are walking, whether you are jogging, whether you are working. How many of you have bhajans going on in the background of your work? And for how many of you have felt Swami's presence through bhajans? That's beautiful. In fact, in the Sai movement today, bhajans are synonymous with darshan. And when I think about the Sri Sathya Sai bhajan movement, I'm reminded of that morning of October 20th, 1940. What we do not know is it was on that day that the first Akhanda Bhajan happened. Do you know that? Swami went to the garden of Anjaneyulu and Swami started the bhajan, and Swami did not want to move. People came and people started joining in, and people brought flowers and fruits and there was incense and everything. And Swami did not go back. Swami left the home of Sheshma Raju. Swami came to the garden and Swami kept sitting there. The whole night there was bhajans there. And I feel that was the first Akhanda Bhajan of the Sri Sathya Sai saga. And from then on, you see that it was Swami who has nurtured, fostered. It is he for so many years. When he says, "My life is my message," you will see that it was Bhagwan himself in the 1940s who would sit and sing all the bhajans. People would just follow. It is he who would do the arati. It is he who would go and distribute the prasadam. There was once a time when there was no one to even ring the bell when Bhagwan had to do arati, because he's the one who would come and clean the idols. He's the one who would come and do the decoration. He's the one who would come and arrange and do all the preparation. And when Swami had to do arati, there was no one to ring the bell, and Swami just looked at that bell and the bell started ringing automatically on its own, and then Swami was doing arati. This is how Bhagwan has built this beautiful institution called Sri Sathya Sai Bhajans for us. Neelamegha Shama Krishna Gopala Krishna. Yeah, you can join. Neelamegha Shama Krishna Gopala Krishna. Neelamegha Shama Krishna Gopala Krishna. Radha Ramana Satya Narayana. Radha Ramana Satya Narayana. Vatapatra Shayana Sai Narayana. Shayana Sai Narayana. Neelamegha Shama Krishna Gopala Krishna. Radha Shama Krishna Gopala Krishna. I cannot but think of that blue which descended on that momentous morning, which glided from the heavens, that blue ball of light which just rolled and decided to get into the womb of Mother Ishwarama. And why blue? Because there is nothing that describes the infinity as blue does. You go to any of the beaches here and you just look, and it is so blue, it is so deep, it is so mysterious, it is so overwhelming. And that is what blue is. Swami said, it is not because Krishna was blue or Rama was really blue in color that, we describe them as blue. It is because they are mysterious. It is because they are deep. How much have we ever understood? They say that in Australia, you have not even understood 5% of the ocean. And I don't think we ever have understood even 0.0000001% of the blue, which is that purity. And I'm reminded of Iradi sir, who had the opportunity to lead the bhajans in Mandir right from 1960s. One of those very, very blessed devotees who right from 60s till Bhagwan was there in his physical form and even beyond, continued to sing in the Prashanthi Nilayam Mandir. There were so many devotees who sang in the early years, but once the students came in, they did not have that kind of privilege. But Iradi sir is one of them who continued to sing even now. Only recently, last a year or two, he's not been singing, but even now he sings. And it was his first visit to Prashanthi Nilayam, and he was someone who loved Krishna. He was someone who was grown up only worshipping and singing the bhajans of Krishna. And he comes to the bhajan mandir, bhajan hall, and he sits there. And in those days, bhajans used to happen for 2 hours from 9 to 11. And he was sitting there and he loved the ambience. Bhagwan came and sat on the chair and he told Swami, I'm loving this ambience, but I'm really sorry because for me, my God is Krishna. I like this. I like the bhajans and everything, but sorry, because my heart is only for Krishna. And as he was looking at Swami, slowly he saw Bhagwan's face metamorphose from the beautiful white to the deep blue. He saw Swami's orange robe changing to that celestial blue. He saw Bhagwan's curly hair, bushy hair disappearing, and there was the long locks of Krishna and the peacock feather. And he started crying, and he melted. That one darshan sealed it for Iradi sir. And from that day, every week, they started having Akhanda Bhajan. Whether there is anyone there, whether there is anyone who's coming, not coming. When I asked him, sir, who taught you bhajans? How did you learn bhajans? He said, nothing. Once we knew of Swami, we only knew to sing bhajans. So for years, every weekend, if it was a Saturday, whole night, they did bhajans. Whole night they used to do bhajans every week. Only by singing and singing and singing, I know whatever bhajans. And that same Justice Iradi sir, when Bhagwan came to Kerala and he sang Chitta Chora, Yashoda Ke Baal for the first time, Swami loved it so much. Swami came down the stage and Swami hugged him. And Swami said, you teach me this bhajan. And Swami learned that bhajan and Swami started singing. So if you look at the bhajan movement, earlier, Bhagwan himself led the bhajans, and he did it for so many years, 40s, 50s, 60s. And in those days, bhajans started when Bhagwan came into the bhajan hall, and Swami would signal the bhajans to start, and whenever Swami signaled that he would want to leave, then the bhajan session would stop and aarti would be given. So you never knew actually when bhajans would stop. You never knew when bhajans would begin also, because darshan and bhajans were separate. Swami would finish darshan, he would give people interviews, and only when Bhagwan came out of the interview room and signaled for bhajans to begin, then bhajans would start. And then slowly it came to a stage where once the students joined, the bhajans would start at that appointed time, but it would never end unless Swami came. I remember in 2007, 8, 9, bhajans would begin morning 9 o'clock, but we would never end, because sometimes Swami would have gone out for some inauguration, to visit the school, hostel, or anything, or some days Bhagwan would come after 9:30, and the bhajans would begin and bhajans would go on and on and on. There were so many times, I remember we had many Akhanda bhajans, 2 hours, 3 hours bhajans, because Swami has not come. So only when Bhagwan came, that's when the bhajan concluded. And that's how, if you look at the last 2-3 years, bhajans would begin but end only when Bhagwan returned and took Aarti. But there were then days when Bhagwan did not come out at all in the last 2009-10. And so the bhajans had to conclude on its own. And those moments were very different moments. You never had experienced such moments. We never had a bhajan session where we had not seen Swami. He didn't come and we had to conclude. But today when I think about it, he was slowly institutionalizing the bhajans, and then it came to a point where when Bhagwan was giving darshans, there was bhajans going on. There were no more interviews. There were no more opportunities to talk to him. The only time you saw Swami was when Bhagwan was sitting there in the Sai Kulwant hall and bhajans were going on. And I felt those were the moments when bhajans and darshans became one. And today I feel every bhajan session for us is a darshan session. Because we feel his presence, our minds are concentrated on him. And the moment our minds are concentrated on him, then automatically we feel the bliss of his presence. If you look at how Bhagwan started the Pandari Bhajan, let me tell you this. There is nothing in the Satya Sai avatar, in the Satya Sai saga, that Swami has asked us to do, and he has not done it himself. When Pandari Bhajan started, it was Bhagwan, before Manasa Bhajare happened, who was to lead this group, and Swami was very strict with all these boys, how they should be dressed. In those days, Swami would take those dresses and used to dip them in turmeric water to give that ochre color. And Swami would be very particular about the headband, about the waistband, about the anklets. Swami would train them how they should dance, how they should sing. And do you know this? The Pandari Bhajan, Swami went from village to village with his group doing, and Swami was walking on his knees, not on his feet, on his knees. On his knees, Swami has gone village after village and done the bhajans. When Swami is asking us to do bhajans, it is because he has himself done it. If Swami is asking us to serve, because he has bent and served any number of people. We have seen Dasara times, birthday times, when Swami would keep distributing for 4 hours, 5 hours. There were times when there were boils on Swami's feet, because in those days you had very rough contract. 4 hours, 5 hours he's been distributing. And the students saw, Swami, there is a boil. Don't worry about it. Devotees have come. I have to go. That is your problem, Swami. You pray. I can't do anything. हर प्राणी में साई, हर प्राणी में बाबा, सब प्रेम करो, सब प्रेम करो मेरा साई प्रसन्न होगा। दिन दुखियों से प्रेम करो मेरा साई प्रसन्न होगा। दिन दुखियों से प्रेम करो मेरा साई प्रसन्न होगा। साई मेरा मैं तेरा ये प्रेम की बहती धारा। साई मेरा प्रेम की बहती धारा। साई मेरा मैं तेरा प्रेम की बहती धारा। प्रेम की बहती धारा। प्रेम की बहती धारा। ये प्रेम की बहती धारा। प्रेम की बहती धारा। मेरा साई प्रसन्न होगा। 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 If only you love and serve, Swami is saying that is the way to make him happy. You know, there was a time when, I'll just take 5 minutes. There was a student who had to serve Swami, and he was very new to that role because he had no one to guide him. This is when Swami moved to Purnachandra Auditorium for the first time. So he was on his own trying to figure out, how to serve Swami, what to place, where. There is no way to guide you. It's not like your parent, or you can ask, tell me mom, tell me dad, what do you want? You can't tell, you can't ask. You have to anticipate. You have to know what is it that Swami will want. So he was constantly trying to figure out, what he should place where, what Swami would want at what time. So he had heard something that Swami probably writes. So, he had kept on Bhagwan's table a notebook and a pen. So after a few days, when he was cleaning the room, he went and opened the notebook and he saw that Swami has written something. And he felt very happy. Wow, this is one good thing I did. Swami really is writing something, and I have done the good thing by keeping a notebook. But he saw that Swami has written with such a small handwriting, and he's written not to waste even a little space. No margins are left. From the beginning of the page to the end of the page, Swami has used every inch of space, and it is almost as if there is not even space for an ant to crawl through the gaps. That's how Bhagwan has written. And he's like, why is Swami writing like this? Maybe Swami is thinking that, this is only one notebook. I'll keep a set of notebooks. Swami can write luxuriously because this boy, I know him, he would write poems, and he would write poems. In one page, he will write 4 lines, and next page, he will not write this side, he will write on the other side. I mean, that's how luxuriously he used to write. And he said, why is Swami writing like this? So next day, he keeps 2 more books, and he sees after a few days, but Swami would still be writing in the same manner. Because when he's telling us, don't waste time, don't waste paper, don't waste energy, you will see that he will do it whether he was not doing to demonstrate and to publicize about it. That is how he lived his life. Because in his life, there was nothing in the bedroom, just one table, just one cot, and the robe buttons, not many will know, for 14 years, Swami had not changed that robe button, and in fact, one of them was broken inside the chain, but he never told anyone. Whenever he told us to do, if he has told us to serve, he has served. If he has told us to do bhajans, he has done bhajans. If he's telling us to dedicate our life and not waste anything, you can see that everything that Bhagwan has told us to do, he has not told us without himself doing anything. And it started right from the time he took birth, and right from the time Pandari Bhajan happened. Let's go back to that beautiful childhood. Panduranga Vithala Jai Pandarinatha Vithala. Panduranga Vithala Jai Pandarinatha Vithala.
Panduranga Vithala Jai Pandarinatha Vithala.
Panduranga Vithala Jai Pundarikaksha Vithala.
Panduranga Vithala Jai Pundarikaksha Vithala.
Panduranga Vithala Jai Pundarikaksha Vithala.
Pandharinatha Vithala.
Panduranga Vithala Jai 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 Pandharinatha Vithala. Thank you. Sairam.
Manasa Bhajare Guru Charanam Dostara